information from a little bit earlier on, and he answers the question that all of you have been wanting to know. How does CAF feel about what's going on with Hlompho and Orlando Pirates? Here's the news. How does CAF feel about what's going on with Hlompho and Orlando Pirates? Here's the news.
Hi, it was a busy news day, Andile. CAF Interclub principal says was around the issues of ineligibility of players, complaints. It's not just Orlando Pirates who've laid a complaint. A couple of other teams on the continent have also written letters to CAF. Well, I caught up with the head honcho out at CAF, Luxolo September, about this issue, and this is what he had to say.
Well, I mean, the first thing I can do, first of all, is to confirm that, of course, we are aware of this. These complaints and protests and whatever have been received by CAF, and they are being processed through the competent structures, the judicial structures at CAF. There is one part which is being processed through the judicial processes, which we have to respect because they are all independent. Then there is administrative side which has to deal with the status quo as it is. And right now we are dealing with the status quo as it is. If and when we will be guided by what the judicial bodies do. When, I don't know. How, I don't know. What, I don't know. It's independent process that is happening, and we respect and we create this wall between the administrative side and the judicial bodies that exist. So we cross that bridge when we get to it.
Mr. September doesn't know, but what I do know is that 2016, Mamelodi Sundowns, let's move on to the next story. Kaizer Junior Motaung was also present because Kaizer Chiefs are through to the Confed Cup group stage as well. They've got Al Masry in their group, they've got Zamalek, as Andile was saying, and they've got Zesco of Zambia. And this is how he reacted to the challenges that now Kaizer Chiefs face in CAF interclub competitions.
I think that talks to some of why we recruited some of the players we did this year. I mean, we're not normally a team that has the size of squad that we have. I think it's very calculated, as this is one of the reasons why. Logistics, traveling, the potential of injuries, form dipping, different competitions to play. So I think we can prepare as best we can. I think the squad size, the squad's quality, and I think also our sports science and medical department at this moment in time is going to play a crucial role preparing the guys, injury prevention. So I think knowing where we're going now, we can sit and plan logistics and understand, how do we weave through the different competitions. But I think we're very much aware of what's facing us. I think the squad size and group will be, I think, a big plus going into this one.
Well, I now want to hear the expert analysis of Hlompho. Kaizer Junior saying they've signed well enough to compete in these type of competitions as they head into CAF interclub competitions and must keep their form in the domestic league as well. Hlompho.
Yeah, Mazola, I think this is a good space for Kaizer Chiefs to find themselves in the Confederation Cup again, simply because, they're going to be playing in the Continental. They'll be playing against a team like Zamalek. They'll go to Egypt twice, which will have the team spirit in terms of players, in terms of growth, the higher player. They'll grow from that. And more than anything, I think it will give them that platform, to showcase their talent. Because when you play various competition, you grow as a player, and this is a platform for Kaizer Chiefs players.
Well, a platform for Kaizer Chiefs players. Mamelodi Sundowns, on the other hand, have been experiencing this platform for quite some time. Tembazwani, Shikabala, still recovering from injury, but he was there to see as Mamelodi Sundowns were drawn against MCLJ, Coach Rulani coming home, so to speak, Saint Elua Limpopo, as well as Al Hilal of Sudan. Mshishi was asked specifically about the reunion with Coach Rulani Mokwena, who left Klorkop under a dark cloud.
No, I think there won't be too much drama. I mean, we have so much respect for him. He has done a lot for the club, and obviously we like him. He's a good human being. He's a good coach. I mean, us as players, we have learned a lot from him, when he was here. So I think we're gonna welcome him with a good hand.
Is that what you're hoping the supporters will do as well?
100%, I'm hoping so.
The Husk, he's a good human being. He's a good coach. Do you expect hostile environment, tough group, this also for Mamelodi Sundowns?
I don't. I don't think he left on such bad terms that he would be received in that manner. I hope not. I think he did well in his tenure with the club. So, you would hope that that's respected. We're not the nation that generally would give a bad reception to our opponents. I know what happened with Pito Mosimane. We saw what happened there. But I think the cloud was a little different that he left under. So personally, I hope it's not the same kind of treatment.
Oh, that's interesting. A man who left with 3 years still left on his contract didn't live on bad terms. I don't know. Let's wrap up now with Alexandra Song, a former Cameroon international and Arsenal midfielder as well. But I steered him in a different direction, asking about the Indomitable Lions, who failed to qualify directly to the World Cup next year, but are still going into the playoffs in the upcoming FIFA break. Here's Alexandra Song.
I agree with you. Like you said, we have very good players. We have, if we see what we have in our continent, the player we're playing, they play in the high level. It's not normal to be in this kind of situation. Like, we have to learn as well to see what's going on, what didn't work very well, the way how we want to do it, and the way how we want to achieve something. I think we didn't put everything in the same place to be part of this, and then we have to learn for this one to show guys now we didn't do it very well. We have to go back to the track to make the people for our country to be very happy, because we know Cameroonian team always to be part of the big tournament in the world.
I said earlier, it was a busy news week. We've got a lot more reaction. Christopher Katungo was also there, Inacio Miguel of Kaizer Chiefs, and for all of that, you'll catch on sabcsport.com.
Well, speaking of Champions League, guys, we might as well just get on it. Mark, let me perhaps start with you here. When you look at the Champions League, only one South African team, and that's Mamelodi Sundowns. They've placed a tough group in Al Hilal and MC Alger. And of course, the CEO of Limpopo wanted Sundowns. He got Sundowns. We're going to see Mukoko again.
Yeah, no, I wonder what kind of reception he's going to get. And he certainly caused a lot of controversy last time he was here, so it's going to be interesting when he does come back. But, there is no easy game anymore. Anyone who's in this, I mean, if you look at all 4 groups, it's very tight, going to be very tightly contested. In Africa, there are no easy games. And so Al Hilal, MC Alger, Limpopo, they're all going to be tough for Mamelodi Sundowns.
And of course, in the Confederation, let me come to you with Stellenbosch here. They're not doing well locally.
Yeah.
They're leaking at the back. They're sitting towards the bottom of the league, and they have to compete with Group C as well.
Yeah, it's doable when you look at the Group C where Stellenbosch is surfaced. I think the only team that will be a problem for them is Belouizdad. It's a big club in Algeria. I think it's going to be a problem.
I think Kaizer Chiefs now to make themselves regulars in CAF competitions. They need to do that with their pedigree, with their history. I wanted to ask Mazola earlier, I think was the last time they were in CAF competition when they made the final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That was the last time, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've gone to a final of the Champions League and haven't made it back in African competition since. So they need to make sure that they cement their place and compete every year so that they can be a mainstay in continental football.
Well, let's shift focus now and come back home, and we want to know kunina Nhlele Makhaya ukuthi ngokubona kwenu amaqembu amaningi asadlala imidlalo 10 amanye aseqele ngalena ku ayishumi nanye Orlando Pirates ke nisalandela emuva ngemidlalo. Siyabuza ukuthi ke ucabangani ngePSL season okwamanje ngoba ungayibuka ukuthi yagcina nini ukuthi ibe namaqembu amane sengikhuluma ngayo ke isikhukhune Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns kube yibona bathi hayi aziyene ensimini azilime ziye khona. Ngiyabuza kuwena ke akungichazela ukuthi wena umbono wakho uthini. But let's go to the MVP. Bathatha abakhethiwe kwabadlale kahle kulaphela sonto siphuma kuyona. Umuphi ohamba nawo ufishi wakho umbambile ubani?
Well, that's Leandra Smita. What a header she scored. And she added a penalty kick to that as well to just put herself that much further on top of the scoring charts.
Well, I score a ridiculous goal in my life, but this,
it's coming out at him. When the ball is coming down
It's a
from the
difficult
sky,
skill, I promise you.
that's like why we always speak about the Zidane goal.
Well,
That
I'll tell you
was
what, we've still got time.
a la
We'll take a
Zidane.
look at that goal. We'll take a
A la
look at that
Zidane.
goal and we'll make decisions on it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, there's still a lot more of football. We'll start with the Betway Premiership, where we see Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, of course, tying and getting a point each. Kukune dropping some point cheaper, and Stellenbosch, they're in trouble.
The league's early pace setters as Kukuna United suffered their third straight loss in all competitions as they lost by a 0-0 to Siwelele FC at the Dr. Petrus Mulumele Stadium in Bloemfontein. Umgadli obuya kwindebe yomhlaba yama-under 20 uSiviwe Magidigidi ukhulule into enzima eqale nje kwesiwombe sesibili 1-0. Babina Nogu also missed an excellent opportunity to equalize as Skeleton Mahalo's penalty was saved by Bafana Bafana's third choice goalkeeper, Ricardo Goss. Kaizer Chiefs ended a 4-game winless streak as they beat Durban City by a 0-0 at the Moses Mabhida Stadium on Friday night. Igoli lamakhosi likhandwe ebhentshini uGaston Sereno walibeka kuFlavio Silva eshaya ngekhanda umgadli wasePortugal naseGuinea-Bissau. Laduma labathatha abafana bakaGavin Hunt 1-0 in favor of Amakhosi. It doesn't rain but pours for Chippa United as they suffered their 7th loss of the season in the league, a 3-0 drubbing at the hands of AmaZulu. Kuvulwa nje ama-Chile Boys ethole ithuba le-penalty kodwa uGoodman Musele bayivimba i-penalty yakhe kalula engasathandi ucoach VV. Man of the match from this game, Pule Extian punished a sloppy Chippa United defense later in the first half for an opener. Omunye-ke umdlali obenzima kulo mdlalo athini Maqokolo uze negoli elihle kwisombe sesibili esebenzisa amandla nobuhlakani. 2-0. The final goal came just 6 minutes after the hour mark and it was a converted penalty by Pule Extian to complete his brace after Maqokolo was brought down inside the box. Richards Bay picked up a valuable point away from home as they netted their equalizer only 4 minutes from full time to draw 1-1 with Polokwane City. I-Rise and Shine ehambe phambili ngelihle igoli lakaMukibelo Ramabu engaphandle eboxini. But later in the game, the Natal Rich Boys were thrown a lifeline as they equalized from the penalty spot. Gabadinho Mango to the rescue.
Arbane batlatwa jankane tshepanga arbane batlatira kane po yenzu matlabe pateleza ga wetsa megala jalo mo tseleng ya ga DANSIN tshepanga ba ba motsela khile bonolo bona kotsifa bona Nuno Santos bona Nuno ke tsa pele ke akwala ba etolaya a sireletsa khwele kotsi ya boipela lebela ka go botlhaba go tletse thi ba romela thule ka tlhoko kwa morago arbane jalo DANSIN jo
6 goals conceded in just their last 2 matches. Stellenbosch are seriously struggling after they went down by 2-0 against the TS Galaxy. Opposite Diteja Nobeno Siluleka Mahlambi bahlanganise igoli lokuqala kalula futhi kahle nje kwafakwa i-cross Sage Stevens wadiva awalahleka. The second goal also saw some great contributions from these 2 players, forcing an own goal of Sanele Barnes. 2-0, it ended in favor of the Rockets. Umqeqeshi we-Golden Arrows uManqoba Mnqithi wake washo ukuthi amanye amaqembu asazoyisuthi induka ukwenzeka kanjalo ngempela izolo beshaya iMarumo Gallants ngamagoli 4-0. Junior Dion put Abafana Besende in front early in the game, becoming completed his brace, but what skill from Sabelo Stole for the quality assist gets 10-40, 4-0 in favor of Arrows.
Let's look at the results from the weekend. 3 games, 3 days of game days. Everybody getting a moment out and seeing Sundowns play after a very long time in the Betway Premiership.
Yeah, the big one is Orbit against Magezi. I think we can all agree that Ovid, they've got inconsistent performance and inconsistent results. But to see them coming out of this match victorious, that's a big one. That's a plus.
Yeah, they certainly have done well. And you look at Chippa United there.
That's a plus.
Yeah, they certainly have done well. And you look at Chippa United there. Woes continue getting hammered 3-0 at home too by AmaZulu. Not good signs for Chippa United, and they are still rock bottom in the league.
I still say this Golden Arrows team, you must watch them close. This is the team that is exciting now. They are happy to go forward. They are happy to score goals. And if you're not careful, you're going to be hammered 4-0 if you're not careful.
And it was great. It was a precursor for what's coming this weekend. But Magezi, obviously, you know, they've shown that they're also very erratic, very inconsistent. But as Hlompho mentioned, look at where Orbit's College find themselves now. 11 games, 13 points, better than a goal a game. Generally, a goal a game guarantees you safety. So if you go 30 games and get 30 points, you're normally safe. So they're on safety pace right now.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that top 4, because even if you look at Kaizer Chiefs at 19 with a game in hand to Sundowns.
Yeah, I'm still happy. If this league can finish like this, I will be happy. But more than anything,
just as is.
Yeah,
just as is.
I'll be happy. But more than anything, I'm just happy for the team like AmaZulu. You know, there's a lot of work that Coach Arthur and the technical team are doing there in making sure that the team is continue to win football matches. Jakes Galaxy, Kaizer Chiefs, to find themselves in the position they are. I think there's a lot of work, good work that they are doing.
Well, let's focus on number 1 and number 3 there, because I mean they played the big game over the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Sundowns versus Orlando Pirates. You start with the Sundowns team. The coach coming out of the game at 1-1, obviously displeased, because when you look at the history of this game in the last couple of games, particularly at home for Sundowns, and he says, my players, I just don't have enough players right now. I don't have the depth right now, Hlompho. I don't have my players that I would have loved to have in this game.
When I look at the match, I thought the 90 minutes was a fair result of the scoreline. That I watched the match closely, and I could tell that this is the match of few chances, simply because the players in the beginning of the match, they were in themselves. Both sets of players, there's a lot of nerves in the beginning of the match, and I could tell that this wasn't going to be a match that many will expect so many goals. But when you look at the bench and even the players on the stand, that tells you that there is a lot of quality for Mamelodi Sundowns. Obviously, with a lot of injuries and suspension from Tebogo Mokoena, you can tell that they missed him a lot in this past match, where he's a player that has so many minutes and rhythm when it comes to Mamelodi Sundowns playing, and they've developed a relationship in the midfield with Marcelo Allende, Mokoena, as well as Arthur Salas. I thought Arthur Salas in this match, he was not himself. He missed some easy passes where those are unforced errors, but I believe that Mamelodi Sundowns plays better when there is a player who's going to be on the ball a lot to play those 2-meter passes, and there weren't one in the match.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates have it even worse. Take a look at this. So I compiled the page of Orlando Pirates and the players they're missing, Hlompho.
Yeah.
Right? If you're saying those players, look at that.
Yeah,
That's who Orlando Pirates are missing. Never mind the bench, the fact that they've got Mbule, Maswanganyi, and Bata on the bench. You know, they've got a Sibisi on the bench. They've got a Mbutuma on the bench even. Look at who they're missing, who's out. They don't have a Relebile Mofokeng. A radio partner that started this season, not there. Tsahofatso Mabasa, not there. Damini, not there.
Sebelebele as well is not there.
Sebelebele is not there. There's plenty names there, but I think when a lot of times in the context of not having players available, a lot of times I think you also have to look at possibly the coach not saying that he doesn't have good enough players, but saying that he doesn't have the players, maybe he's starting 11. So I don't think they've had a set start. They've worked on a starting 11 where in terms of the coach knows this is my tried and tested. And so constantly guys are going in and out. So he hasn't had a chance to really find his best 11. And that more than anything, I think, is the issue.
Well, let's take a look at Mamelodi Sundowns here. And I'll start perhaps with Ronan Williams. Had some amazing stops in that game.
Yeah, the number one goalkeeper in the continent in Ronza. I mean, I still believe that he's got a quality of being
What a
a
pass.
striker. What a pass.
That's ridiculous.
When you saw the touch from Arthur, that tells you that it was a nerve more than anything, because he normally deals with that ball. But I can tell that this was not the match for any player. Of course, we are proud as South Africans to have a goalkeeper who will take us out of the pressure zone into the consolidation zone with one pass. And he's got that technique. And if you remember, this is the ball that I thought he played very well. Remember, this was brought by Munib Joseph, where we used to play a goalkeeper sweeper. This is a good run from Remy. And of course, when you have a goalkeeper of this nature, you're happy to have him, because he'll continue to save you, will bail you out in moments. Of course, this was supposed to be a goal, and I'm sure the young Lebone would know better that in that instant you have to share the cakes. And after you have done such a long, a hard job and in making sure that you run 40 yards, you must make sure that when you get there, you make them count.
Sundown's defense.
Yeah, for sure. But they have to look at themselves and make sure that they fix that. But Lebone, that was a lose your kind of run, where you break from the centre back from other side to go to other side.
They say this Mamelodi Sundowns team is a defensive team, Mark. The coach was lambasting that, saying, why do you guys say that? Is it a defensive team?
It's a difficult one. I wouldn't say they're necessarily a defensive team. If you're a defensive team, you don't dominate, get 61% of possession against an Orlando Pirates team. I think they just haven't found their stride just yet. I don't think they a cohesive unit going forward, especially, and that for me is the big difference.
And I was in, if they were a defensive team, they weren't gonna concede a break like they got when Lebone Siema was one-on-one with the defender.
Because they were so fired up.
They were so fired up.
Shalila, he scored the goal, the opener, early on in the 20th minute there for Mamelodi Sundowns. He's been getting starting berths since Ikram Reynés has been injured.
You got to love Peter. And I always say this is the player that of late he's playing a trick of Sergio Aguero. He started off offside, and it's a thorn on the flesh when somebody's behind you. Any defender will tell you that they don't want to mark somebody who they don't see. And Peter has come up with this technique, and I think it's working for him, because he always gives him an edge when it comes to the ball that goes wide. If you saw the goal that he scored, he got an opportunity to get to the ball earlier and before the defenders. And more than anything, I think you're going to need a player of this nature, because Peter scores goals for you, and he always wants to work hard for the team.
In the absence of Teboho Mokoena, Obas then comes in.
Yeah. He did fairly well, Obas. Of course, he was nervous at the beginning of the match. I could tell that in some passes that he missed, there was unforced errors. And I do believe that he's better than that. I do believe that this was not the Obas that we once saw.
That's not a bad passing rate. 42 passes from the 49 and 86%.
That was good. For me, I thought it, because I rate him highly in terms of the midfielders that we have in our country, and I think he's one of the best midfielders we have. And I think he just needs to make sure, and he believes. And if he believes, I think he's gonna perfect some of the things. And I think as a midfielder, you're gonna be judged by how many balls you lose. And for him to be in the conversation of the best players, you can't lose a 2-meter pass, especially when you play for a team like Mamelodi Sundowns. But I do believe that the boy is better than what he gave us over the weekend. And I think going forward, because of the match, of course, the hype of the match, and obviously the expectation of the match, I think they got into his head. But more than anything, when he settled, I could tell that this is the Obas we know, and he's got to spread those passes. And he's got a body, he's got the physique, he's got the aggression, and that's what I like about him.
I hear you about Obas and what he still needs to do. Mark, on Saturday, sitting in the studio, said, if not their best, Apollos is one of the best players in the country right now.
I do agree. If this boy continues like he's doing now, this boy, we're going to be talking player of the year without a doubt, with uncontested. This is the boy that is willing to run into the last ball. And if you see here, the amount of work that he's putting is no longer that older police who's going to hug the line there. Look where he touches the ball. And this is where the new wingers are operating. He's got dribbles, he's got trigger in him, he's got an eye for pass, he's got an eye for goals. And look at this ball. Had Hoto saw the run, he was just going to put it on his path. It's going to be a nice and lovely goal. If you see this,
I know, Hlompho, I don't want Hoto passing that ball there. He must drive it. Just hit the target. That's the only thing he did wrong.
Yeah,
in my mind. Hit the target.
Yeah, we're coming from a different school of thought. At Sundowns, we put it down and we let it. You feel me? So, and of course, I get him. No, but that one, you're right. When you're in the last third to get there, I mean, you hit the target. Make the keeper work.
When the game started, the starting 11 came out.
Yeah.
And I think that the biggest glaring complaint, people speaking, was Cameron DANSIN.
Yeah. I'll give you something that I have to cover this kid. But here I'll give you a start off of this Lebone Siema. What a defender. I like the fact that he has grown into the department of knowing that as a centre-back, you must do well. But I was worried with that incident because when you saw that incident, he allowed Peter to edge him. You can't allow Peter to edge him. But look at this move, Ma'a. This is lose your move. Lose your from Bayern Munich used to do that.
Yeah.
But here, baby boy, share the cake, son. Share the cake. After the good job that you have done, make sure that you share the cake. And he's going to learn from this mistake. And of course, he's still a youngster. But in this team that is playing, youngsters, this tag doesn't last for forever. You got to grow, you got to mature, and you mature with games. And I think in this match, he showed us that he's capable of playing in a big match, in a match that has got consequences, because this was not just a match of 3 points. It was a match of consequences.
Well, I mean, as I mentioned DANSIN earlier, because it's coming up now, and here's the page on it. This is Cameron DANSIN. Mark, firstly, this is Cameron DANSIN in the match that he had.
A 20-year-old, he did well in this match, and Maki. I must say, it's a player for the future. When I look at how he handled the match, he started off shaky, like anybody else would be shaky because of the big match that was. But he managed to contain himself and try to pull himself.
For me, we have to give the coach credit.
Yeah.
We have to massive credit for being brave enough to play this young man. Only his second ever start in a match of this magnitude. The coach literally has to be given credit, and he comes up that and rewards the coach with an absolutely stellar goal.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
I wanted to tell him that I played that fixture for quite a lot of games that I against, but it used to scare me. And I could tell the boy was scared in the beginning. But like as Mark is saying, the credit must go to the technical team and his teammates to back him up and to pull up a goal of that nature. Oh, that was a goal and a half.
Incredible, a goal and a half, and I want to see it again, and probably we will over and over and over again. Right now, though, Mark has got the masterclass.
You speak about watching that goal over and over again. Yes, we are going to watch it again. But this time, we're just going to kind of look at, from a Mamelodi Sundowns perspective, what did they do wrong? What could they have done better? Cameron DANSIN has to be given credit. Absolutely stellar goal. But I'm still not happy with Sundowns' organization on set plays. When you look at this year, look at what they've done, literally. I mean, everyone in one space, literally, you can throw a blanket over each and every Sundowns player that is there. If we play it, we can see, let's just take it back slightly. When we look at it again, just look at Sundown at penalty area. It is congested. You can literally, let's throw a blanket over them, Hlompho.
Yeah.
You can literally put a blanket over each and every one of these players. There's absolutely no distance between them. Now, Hlompho, if you and I are standing together, we cancel one another out, and Sundowns players are literally canceling one another out based on how close they are to one another. When this rolls, you can see nobody in that space that will get close to Cameron DANSIN. He has time and space to look at it, has a clean look. Even Ronwen Williams had to look through bodies. He was trying to find his way through bodies to see where the ball is going, and look at there. Ronwen is there's a blanket of yellow in front of him. So he can't see anything. He can't react to it. Absolutely no chance for Ronwen Williams in that moment. So their organization on set plays is something they are going to have to revisit. Now we're going to move on. We're going to go to Chippa United against AmaZulu. We look at it. It's in the 42nd minute. Fasika, the man on the ball. We're speaking about Chippa United's transition. Now, they are struggling at the moment. And this is, you know, I hate singling out players, but it's just to emphasize where they need to improve as well. Fasika there with a loose pass. It's intercepted. But for me, the key thing, I want us to focus on Kamis. And obviously in the midfield there, we need to be tracking back a lot better. Football is about 3 moments, Hlompho.
Yeah.
Tell us the 3 moments.
You have to defend, you have to also attack, and must also make sure that you kill the last line.
And the transition.
Transition is
defense, attack, transition.
Yeah.
Now look at Kamis. We've lost the ball. There's a counter attack. It's now a 4v3 situation. 4v3 is manageable. But let's see what happens. Now when we play it, 4v3 situation over there, manageable. Kamis is the left back. Is he breaking his neck to get back there? No, he's not. And now what was a 4v3 situation has now turned into a 3v2 situation. A lot different. Transition is what it's about. When you win it, when you lose it, how do you react? That is not a good enough reaction to say you want to help out your team. Let's look at what happens when it rolls forward now. 3v2 situation. Now imagine in that situation, and we're not saying Kamis would have saved the goal, but imagine if he was closer to Eckstein. Now Eckstein has a body to worry about. Does he take a touch? Does he side-foot it into the back of the net? His reaction would have been a lot better. Look at the space and time Hendrik Eckstein has. Space, time, passes it into the back of the net. The situation could have been a lot different if the transition happened a lot better. So in possession, out of possession, the transition. That's what the game is about. And you have to be better in those moments.
Welcome back, Marquis. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back on the other side, the world fixtures in the Carling Black Label Cup has empowered the champion fans with a voice and unprecedented power over the game of football. Now, Carling Black Label is calling on you to empower your champion voice and be the champion coach. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Carling Knockout semi-final draw, of course, that took place in Bloemfontein last week. And all the roads lead to eThekwini this weekend, where Richards Bay will take on Orlando Pirates at the Moses Mapita Stadium on Saturday. And then Golden Arrows, Hlompho said, watch out for them. They go up against Marumo Gallants at the Kings Welitini Stadium on Sunday. But before we even get there, let's perhaps take a look at, there it is. It's Richards Bay, Orlando Pirates, Golden Arrows, and Marumo Gallants. Will the Chargers get revenge against Mangoba's team? And of course, we're talking about Lafayette's Chargers there. My dominant side has been victorious in 5 of the recent 6 league matches with a whooping 16 goals scored. Interestingly enough, though, Marumo Gallants, they beat Stellenbosch by the same scoreline of 4-0 in the Carling Knockout quarterfinals to get to the semis. So we're anticipating quite the fixture there. But the guys are here, and I'd like to know what it means to them when they look at how the pages has grown since the last time we spoke about the Carling Knockout and we checked out the leaderboard. Hlompho, Dr. Magawena.
Yeah.
This leaderboard, it excites me every time I get a warner to say, hey, what changes have been made? What's going on there?
Yeah.
You've seen it. What are your thoughts on the leaderboard?
I think it's a leaderboard looking for the youngsters an opportunity, especially the ones from DDC. AFC, Tulani Mabaso has come into the team now. And I look at the Brandon Peterson is still #1 goalkeeper that the fans believe that he will save this team and make sure that he defends very well for them. Sikosonke Langa is coming from Sekhukhune United. He's been recalled to replace the youngsters in Tulani Mabaso and or Simpiwe Selepe, sorry, in that regard. So I think this is another additional in this team. But more than anything, I think I'm still happy with Jabulani Mukoni, who's forever cementing that right back position. Look at Jabulani Mukoni as well, who's coming into this team to make sure that they score goals. Tsepo Mahlambi, exciting youngster who scored 2 goals over the weekend, is still there in that team. So yeah, Marcelo Allende, I'm happy to see Marcelo Allende in that midfield together with Sitlen Duli. They bring that stability and experience.
Champion coaches, you've spoken, but Mark, there's a change up front that I'm looking at there. Take us through it.
Yeah, certainly. I think what's great about it now is that there's a total of 5 different teams that are represented in the starting lineup. It was initially Naledi Hlongwane and Kanyisa Mayo in the starting as the strikers, but Tegofatso Mabasa has made his way into the starting lineup. And if he stays there and manages to be part of the squad, he'll join the likes of Mfundo Vilakazi, Jabulani Mokone, as well as Naledi Hlongwane, who were also in last year's team, in last year's starting lineup.
Well, gents, thank you for the update, champion fans. Remember that you stand a chance of coaching the Carling All-Star team, the players that you've just seen now. Imagine sitting on the bench and coaching at Tegofatso Mabasa, of course, for the Carling Knockout Tournament, the 2025 edition of the Carling Cup, which is taking place on the 13th of December. All you have to do, and listen to me carefully, all you have to do is select and vote for your entire starting 11. Not just the goalkeeper. Brandon Peterson doing well with over 84,000 votes, but for your entire team. And remember that even if your team has been knocked out of the Carling Knockout, you can still select players from any of the 16 PSL teams. And of course, it is all up to you to make up the Carling All-Star team. To vote, buy a promotional Carling Black Label beer, dial *120 *660# and follow the prompts. Or you can visit www.carlingblackLabelcup.co.za. Remember, as always, T's and C's and standard rates, they do apply. Speaking of Carling Knockout, there were 2 matches over the week. Of course, midweek, Stellenbosch and Orlando Pirates, who had been away in CAF competitions, weren't able to play their games at the same time as the others, and they finally got their opportunity.
Tshepana Poyentsho Matlabe ba lwa jaanong ba goga Tito Maswanganye lebitso ha re bone Pirates ba batla bona ya bobedi fa ba ka e bona fa Pirates le motsadi ba ba romela ha re bona kgweletlana kotsi ba thula e be o tlana le letloa ba phumula le nosi kwa morago
Marumo Gallants looking measured, looking very good right now. Let's see what can come of this. Driven across the face, open goal, a tight angle, but he squeezes it in.
ayichithe beka phambili nakudaba ithethwa iJojo ufikile phansi kwayisiqikana wangena boxini uJojo wayisika la bhola yabuyela kuJojo wabatha wayibeka emlatheni
4v4 here, this looks really good for Mpambaniso! It's off him last, and Mpambaniso somehow, inadvertently, scores number 3 for Marumo Gallants. Stellies have left it late, but they've probably left it a little too late. Corner kick, can Marumo Gallants make it 4? You bet they can, won't you look at that?
Well, we're giving you, of course, the fixtures. You know who you're going to be looking out for. Durban, all roads lead there. Both matches will be live on SABC Sport this weekend. We're going to take a break. When we come back on the other side, Davik, Mamelodi Sundowns scored a goal against the Orlando Pirates in the 20th minute. Peter Shalulile with the double try scores it rather at the second attempt. But what a legal goal when we come back. Welcome back. It's that time. South Africa's been waiting. They want to know were there goals, were there not, were there offsides, red cards, yellow cards. Only one man can answer that, and his name is Victor Hlongwane, known to you and I as... There you have it. Let's go. It's the referee's corner.
Yeah, welcome to the referee's corner. This is not masterclass, it's the referee's corner. As we're starting with international football. Tembi Kgatlana scored a goal. This goal was ruled offside. Was it correctly ruled offside? As you can see the flag there. Bonisa Laku Soccer Zone, when we draw the line, if this goal was scored in line with the FIFA laws of the game, this goal is similar to the one scored by Mayo, as Mayo removed the sugar from the tea. But in this case, you can see Tembi Kgatlana is in line with the second last defender. Therefore, incorrect decision to flag for offside because I equal offside. As Hambenike, we're going to Mukone. Mukone scored a goal. Here, Mukone to Mukone Jabulani to Mukone Lihonod. As you can see there, there's a header from Mukone to Mukone was in an offside, was the ball deflect from Mukone in an offside position. So therefore, a goal is scored. So this goal was not scored in line with the FIFA laws of the game. Incorrect decision, Asisa Sekang. You can see there's a touch there from Mukone, from an offside position. Mukone Jablan to Mukone Tlonon, Asisa Sekang. Right, Wara to Wara, Asisa Sekang. Right, let's go to Kemis. Kemis here did what we call simulation, trying to deceive the referee by feigning to be injured. You can see that here there's nothing that happened. Here's the ball. He decided to shim. Referee Michael Musibong correctly position says, I can't take it. What? Sekuselekan ngani ngizophumelela. Thina sithi sekuselekan ngani mnike because this was mnike. The simulation trying to deceive the referee. Let's go to the next one. Here we go to the Muremi. Muremi here was challenged by Cupido. Right, this is a normal challenge in football. And then when there's a normal challenge in football, normal contact, no impact, he played the ball to where he wanted the ball to go, and then they intercepted the goal, and then they scored. So this is what we call normal challenge. Tennis where you play alone, they will challenge you. So normal challenge in football, and then a goal was scored. There's nothing, there's no foul in this case. Referees will not blow for a normal challenge in football. And then Sivala came Sivala a goal. Sivala a goal, Gavin Hunt celebrated the goal. Right, when you celebrate a goal scored from an offside position, let's go for it. Zakele flag for offside in this situation. So therefore, I don't know whether that's, So we're saying, Coach Gavin, you said you are not sure whether this goal was offside. We'll going to show you, dude, that's offside. So correct decision by Uzakele Suela to flag for offside. And then this goal is not scored in line with the FIFA laws of the game.
I don't like it. He's body shaming the offside. No, he's body shaming the offside.
Offside.
No, Maria body shaming.
Take
a quick break.
For flag.
Yeah, okay.